Hey guys, welcome back to Shantae Risky's Revenge. In this part, we go to what I think is the most annoying dungeon in the game, the Hypno-Baron dungeon. Fuck
The most annoying dungeon in the game out of all two of them.
It still classifies there's more than one.
Fuck this place, though. You have to memorize an awful lot of shit in order to get through, and it's not very fun going back to it.
It is quite a spike considering what you went through previously, and I mean that for both the first dungeon and the battle tower.
Like, cause the battle tower really isn't all that hard. It's just
it's just a gauntlet, like a 10-floor gauntlet.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no puzzle solving to behold whatsoever. And then you go here, and it's like, okay, we're going back to dungeon layout, and goddamn.
Yeah, it's a pretty labyrinthy type of place, and the fact that you don't have a map only makes it more annoying. So expect a lot of jump cuts in this place. Just warning you right now.
Yeah, the rooms in the beginning area, I believe, when you want to proceed with the rest of the dungeon, the eyes have to be facing either up or down.
Yeah, you have to face it one way to get the key to go on, and then you'll have to go back once you get the mermaid in order to get a. I think it's part of the skull that you need in order to open the skull door or something.
Yeah, you gotta get the top and bottom half of the skull.
I was so happy that in Pirate's Curse you could kill those guys for good and they don't just respawn over and over again.
You can kill them for good here.
Wait, you can?
It's just really annoying because the skeletons, first off, already take enough hits to kill. And then while their tombstones are erect, you have to change into the elephant and dash into the tombstone to break it.
You can do that?
Yes, you can do that, but I understand why you wouldn't do it because that's a real pain in the ass way to kill an enemy permanently. I'd rather just ignore the skeleton and go on.
I just thought that they infinitely respawned.
No, you can destroy the tombstones once they appear, and you can get rid of them permanently that way. I don't bother because that's a hassle.
Also, I've never before this playthrough, I've never actually let these wizard dudes do their attack, so that was the first time I saw that animation. So, yeah, learn something new every day. It's a pretty cool attack, all things considered.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever.
God, this dungeon though.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what really hung me up the most, and I feel kind of ashamed for it, but I'll point it out when we get there. But this dungeon was not a fun time for me.
Now I credit it for being interesting. I think it's more just the first dungeon is very clearly a first dungeon. It's not that hard. This is definitely an endgame dungeon. And you know, maybe this is just due to the game being so short, but it's so hard, man. Like there's no
it's entirely out of whack, and it's kind of clear that there was supposed to be stuff between the two. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is a spike.
Yeah.
And then this is, I would say, this is where it peaks, because after this, I mean, what do you got left? You gotta fetch quests, and then you got the final area, which again is not really a dungeon.
Well, it's not that the final boss is pretty hard, but it's not that bad really. If you buy potions, it's not that bad. So this is probably the hardest part in the game if I had to. Like,
oh, absolutely, I would say so.
If only just because it takes effort to go through. And also, I forget things very much, so it's weird. Like you think in the earlier areas, like you all you had to do was like change one in order to go into the different room. Here, it's like a specific combination of the left eye and the right eye being open and closed in order to get stuff.
There are two sets of rooms. One if both eyes are open, and the other if both eyes are closed. Nothing will change if one eye is open and the other is closed.
Oh.
They both have to be either open or closed.
Oh, okay. I thought that but in a lot of other instances, like especially with the googly eyes rooms, yeah. Like I thought that there might have been one if it was winking in two different ways, but I guess not.
Wink.
Okay, actually, you know what? That makes a lot of sense because I left the other one closed. No, wait, I left the other eye closed, and I go in here, and this is still the same room. So, whatever. Who gives a shit? We don't. You shouldn't. Yeah, see, both eyes are closed, and I went into the. Well, they're evil skeletons. Scary, spooky. Ooh.
I just hate touch damage in this game because when you suffer it, it's usually because there's an enemy on a platform above you, and and there's no real room to jump around underneath.
Yeah, the placement of the skeletons could have been better. I generally just wait for them to dash either left or right, and then, yeah, you can crawl like that as well.
Yeah, it's just
Crawling
that kind of
slow.
stuff that you know, I just really would prefer if games took the Freedom Planet route and just, you know, actually had attack animations and have those be what damage you.
Yeah.
When does Freedom Planet come out on the Wii U again?
Later this year, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay, so...
Oh, so you're waiting for it on the Wii U?
Yeah, I'm not...
On, Steam?
Oh, yeah, because if I can get it on a console, I'm going to get it on the console. I don't like playing things on my computer very much. Unless if it's like...
Well, you're the Steam junkie.
Well, no, well, it's indie stuff. Cheap, man. Cheap. But
it's still a computer.
Oh, yeah.
That's not what we're arguing.
If
we're
I
arguing whether or not playing the game on a computer.
If I have the option to play it on a console, though, if I have an option to play it on a console and it's just as cheap, I would do it, but...
You know... You know what always gets me about gaming on a PC, right? It's the customization. And I say that like it's a bad thing, it's really not, but at the same time, I usually wind up spending, a little bit of time at the beginning of any given gaming session trying to get the game to work as well as it can on my hardware.
If I know a game on the PC, like if a multi-platform game, if I know it's on the PC and I know it's the definitive version of that game, and I have the specs to run it, I play it on the PC.
Well, yeah,
That's
I've
a lot
always
of
been more of a
ifs.
console person.
It depends. Like nowadays when I play like Batman Arkham Asylum or City, I'm actually playing it on the PC because the frame rate is 60 frames per second and next to no loading times and just smoother performance all around, except for Origins.
Do you at least hook your computer up so that you're playing the game on a television?
Sometimes I do that, yeah. Sometimes I just can't be asked to put the HDMI cord, though.
It's just... Oh, yeah, here we are, the googly eye room. I love this place.
There are different rooms for each formation.
There's eight.
If the
There's
eye-
8 rooms, basically.
Yeah, so the eye's looking up, right, down, left, and if they're cross-eyed, looking up and down and up, left and right and left.
Yep. Cookie Monster would be so proud.
Oh, yes.
Christ, this looks annoying.
This is pretty much just a continuation of the the swamp dungeon from Shantae 1. Honestly, without the spider transformation.
The spider transformation, like, I never got that far in Shantae 1, but the spider transformation seemed like one of the least necessary ones, to be perfectly honest.
You use it to finish the dungeon in the dungeon you got it in, and you used it to gain access to another area of the hub world. That's about it. Hey, same results. Same results.
Oh, man.
One just hurts.
It's just weird though. In a Metroidvania, your powers are usually all about like if you get new powers, it's usually about it's weird. Like Metroid is one of the only examples where it's not, because in Metroid you're usually getting more firepower, but in most Metroidvanias, when you get new powers, it's usually based on traversal. Like, you know, you get new stuff that allows you to move in a special way. So it's just kind of weird when the powers you get are just like, oh, well, here's the one that lets you climb on this specific type of stuff because we couldn't think of another power for this dungeon. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it sucks when the power is used for that purpose and only that purpose. Because honestly, besides climbing on the background walls in Shantae 1, I can't think of a use for the spider transformation besides the spider shot, which you don't have immediately when you get the spider upgrade. You gotta look for that.
Isn't the spider how you were supposed to kill that one boss that you didn't know how to do? Or something?
For the yeah, but I kind of fall under the same category, and even then, that's only one time. I like it for a power up to not only be just a means to get to another place. I like it to have a second purpose too.
Yeah. And that's kind of the Super Mario 64 power-up problem, really.
Yeah, if it's situational, then everybody loses. Okay, good. I learned from tonight's playthrough that you can't get crushed.
I was kind of worried about that too, but apparently not.
Well, this game is not as bad with Shantae 1 when it comes to instant death scenarios, which I don't think this game needs anyway.
Well, one thing that I like about this game is you know what bottomless pits are deadly and which ones are not. Because they've got the floating skulls.
But they got rid of lives in the Risky's Revenge, which is great. Didn't need those at all in the original. Still gotta make sure you're cautious with saving, though, because if you lose all your hearts, that's game over.
Yeah.
And you have to load up a save file, I believe.
Yeah, you do. You can die pretty easily because you don't really have that much health. I'm trying to remember. What's the point of a quick travel square if you're just gonna make it so that you fall anyway? But yeah, you can die pretty easily, and there's no auto potions like in Pirate's Curse. There's no auto potions.
Risky's Curse.
Yeah, like in Risky's. Whatever.
Risky's Curse.
Risky's Curse, yes. The mid-quel nobody asked for.
Pirate's Revenge. Which still kind of makes sense.
So,
yeah, but this is what you're doing.
Shantae rocking out, going all metalhead just now.
Oh yeah.
Well, there are some Jake Kaufman tunes that you could probably do that. No.
And you can't climb the walls.
Or I could just wait for it to come back.
See, the bumps on the wall say so.
Yeah, but there are some Jake Kaufman tunes you could metalhead to. Not really this one, because it's more going ominous dungeon music as opposed to hard rockin' stuff, but whatever. But yeah,
this part of the dungeon made me a bit nervous because I was getting all these keys, and I didn't know what to. It's like, oh god, I'm probably missing so much fucking rooms.
No, they're all, you use them all in the same room.
Yeah. This is where I got hung up, though. You're not at the room just yet, but the room that you're trying to go to when you're finished all of this, I want to say it's all the eyes pointing left. But there's like 4 other eyes that you have to find the right combination for. Thing is, you have to find another room that tells you the combination you should look for. Without looking at that room first, you can't open the other door.
I think the combination's random.
Yeah, that combination's random, but you have to go to the room to see the combination. You can't guess it.
You can't guess it, even if you try every single possible.
Even if you try every single combination. I think there's like 256 possible combinations.
Eesh.
Even if you were to guess it, it won't activate until you go into that room.
Well,
I didn't know that. So I spent like a good 10-15 minutes trying to guess the combination.
Okay, well, it's smart programming so that you can't just skip it, but it can lead you to being stuck, I suppose. Yeah, this is the room. You need to memorize the combination in a different room in order to find. I think you get it by doing the cross-eyed ones. Well, we're already cross-eyed, but
there's lazy-eyed and there's cross-eyed. And now to go into its mouth.
Oh yeah, you need to find all 4 keys so that you can open all the doors in order to find the combination for a different room. Yeah, see what we were talking about?
Who built this place?
Satan.
Who built this
Satan
place?
built this place.
Oh, that despicable Satin.
It's Satine.
Hey guys, look at this dude named Stan I met. He's such a cool guy. He has these horns though. It's kind of weird. He also showed me his friend.
He can.
Oh, what was that?
Go on.
He also introduced me to his friend Louis, also another good dude.
Damien, my man.
Well, he knows all about human nature and doesn't judge us for it, so.
I already forgot the combination.
Yeah, me too. No, whenever
Good thing this is a post commentary.
No, but whatever I do is if I'm not asked, if it's especially long, I'll write it down. But if not, I just repeat the combination in my head over and over while I'm
ad nauseum.
while I'm backtracking. Yeah.
All these squares make a circle.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same in that respect. Ah, we finally have the swimming power.
No, what you want to know?
Before we could turn into a mermaid again?
No, but we can't dive because water pressure? I don't know. What's really annoying is that in this room there's a block that you can't break, unless if you have the mermaid's power. So you have to go through this entire part of the dungeon again if you want to 100% the game. So yeah, fuck
And
that.
that's why I stopped caring.
Have you ever done a 100% playthrough, John?
No.
Oh man. Oh man.
It's the same reason. It's the same reason why I have such a harder time 100%ing Fusion and Zero Mission compared to Super Metroid, because you got to do a lot of backtracking for it.
Well, okay, I'm not too familiar with Super Metroid. How much? I know you have to go really out of your way in Fusion and Zero Mission, because you basically, once you've gotten all the power-ups, you have to go back to basically every area and then get all the stuff you missed. In Super Metroid, how much of that stuff can you get along the way?
You can get a lot of things on your way.
Yeah, there. Fuck that
Metroid. Yeah, I for a while thinking like, all right, how am I supposed to get? Is there a switch I have to press or something? And then I find out later down the road after you do that squid fetch quest, this is how you break it. I was like, oh wait a minute, there was a block over there. Shit. And I stopped because I was like, nah, I'm not doing it anymore.
I still think the worst offender is Other M, because you can't just go back through the door to the area 2 rooms behind you to get the thing that you should be able to access now but can't because the door locked. So you have to wait until you go through the area again later on.
Yeah, I think Other M may be the worst with it. Well, wait, no, because I really have to think back, and because
there are a lot of
backtracking.
games. Picking one game to be the worst is hard.
It's less backtracking in Other M's case and more just repetition, because you go through the space station the first time as like in the prescribed order, then you go through it the second time using the power bomb doors to make your way through. I think it's power bombs that open.
Yeah, power bombs. Yeah, it was power bombs if I remember correctly.
Yeah. But it's just go through the same areas you've already gone through and fight these annoying ass super enemies that are kind of hard to kill, except not really.
It's a lot of circumstance in Other M. You know, at the very least with Super Metroid, maybe Fusion and Zero Mission, depending on the design of the level, you can find alternative ways of getting other power-ups without having to use the method they wanted you to use. You know, like in Super Metroid, in the second area of Brinstar, you can wait until you get the grappling hook to get that missile pack that's in the top left corner of the screen, or you can wall jump. Either way, you have different means of getting there. In other games, it's pretty much, no, you have to have this specific way of getting it, and you're not going to be able to get that thing until you get that area.
And hope to God you remember it's there by the time you get it.
Yes.
Well, that's one thing that I think Metroid Fusion and Zero Mission are better than Super Metroid, is that in Super Metroid there are just squares. In Zero Mission and Fusion there are open circles if you've not gotten the power up there, and closed ones if you have. So, like, it's easier to remember, oh, there's a thing I need to get here, 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 as opposed to in Super, it's like, I might have gotten a thing here? I am not quite sure.
So,
this is Hypno Baron, who really has no effect on anything.
No, he's just there to be cryptic, and like the uncle didn't really even hide anything, really. Like, it's just like this lamp could capture your power. Okay, like I can see why you wouldn't want to tell Shantae that. So
that must mean you want me to touch it, right?
Touch.
yeah, like if you interrupt his attack animation, he won't finish it. And if he's a dipshit, like in my specific fight, where he keeps on teleporting right in front of me, sometimes he won't even get a single attack off. Like,
he's being really generous with you, I noticed.
Yeah. And, like, the attacks are all really easy to dodge, so that's why I think he's easier than the Squid Bear, personally.
It only gets really annoying in the second half when he teleports a lot faster.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, he was gone down way faster than Squid Baron.
Yeah, that was way fast.
But, you know, I don't really understand why he hid the fact that this lamp could steal Shantae's powers. Don't you think this would have all gone a little better if she'd been forewarned?
Well, why are we getting the magic seals?
So that you can seal. The magic seals are needed for the lamp to do its lampy thing.
So basically the idea is we get all the magic seals before Risky does, and it's all good and gravy. Now, at this point, what I would have done was, walked over to this bridge over here, taken out all my magic seals, and dumped them in the ocean. But
It's the only way.
No one ever seems to do that in these stories where they find these magical trinkets that the bad guys are after, and all we're trying to do is keep the bad guys from them.
Well, at one point, I think it's after the first dungeon, I think Shantae says, "You come any closer, I break this thing in half." And Risky's like, "Whoa, calm down, dude, okay? Jeez, I'll leave."
Serious.
Why didn't you just do that in the first place, then?
Because Shantae is dumb.